When things go wrong, as they sometimes will. When the road that you're trudging seems all uphill. When the funds are low and the debts are high. And you want to smile, but you have to sigh. When care is pressing you down a bit. Rest if you must, but don't you quit. Come again, rest if you must, but don't you quit. I said rest if you must, but don't you quit. Love, light, live and shine. Release all your positive residing inside. Tap into the pineal, that third eye vision. See the way to do it, then start living. Love, light, live and shine. Release all your positive residing inside. Tap into the pineal, that third eye vision. See the way to do it, then start living. Love, light, live and shine. What? Release all your positive residing inside. Come on. Tap into the pineal, that third eye vision. What? See the way to do it, then start living. Go love, light, live and shine. Go. Release all your positive residing inside. Come on. Tap into the pineal, that third eye vision. What? See the way to do it, then start living. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will. When the road that you're trudging seems all uphill. When the funds are low and the debts are high. And you want to smile, but you have to sigh. When care is pressing you down a bit. Rest if you must, but don't you quit. Come again, rest if you must, but don't you quit. I said rest if you must, but don't you quit. Don't you must, but don't you quit. Rest if you must, but don't you quit. What? Come on. What? Go. Come on. What? That third eye vision. See the way to do it, then start living. Love, light, live and shine. Release all your positive residing inside. Tap into the pineal, that third eye vision. See the way to do it, then start living.
I'm back in my bed. Hey, they let's see me rap again. Hey, let's go. I'm just one man, pull up solo. She drive a white Beetle, Yoko Ono. I been that bitch back, Quasimodo. They standing outside, they want a photo. She go below the belt, that's a low blow. I let them talk, it's free promo. She said I'm hot, I'm Diablo. I call the shots, like I'm Pablo. I'm a Florida boy, like I'm Tebow. I'm the best of right now, that's something she know. About my green, like I'm CeeLo. But I stay in all black, like I'm emo. We don't fuck with them, but they fuck with us. They my slime balls, yeah, they stuck with us. I shoot my shot at your bitch, I don't double clutch. I just came with the hits like a sucker punch. You niggas suspect, no check, no respect. Bitch ass nigga. Ain't got nan chopper, no gun or a tech. Won't pull that trigger. Y'all got niggas in the jam waiting on a kite. Shit pathetic. Too busy on Instagram, nigga praying for your likes. That shit petty. I'm just one man, pull up solo. She drive a white Beetle, Yoko Ono. I been that bitch back, Quasimodo. They standing outside, they want a photo. She go below the belt, that's a low blow. I let them talk, it's free promo. She said I'm hot, I'm Diablo. I call the shots, like I'm Pablo. Look, do you remember me? I lost my identity. Got hoes in Tennessee, and they tryna see me. I don't fuck with these bitches like virginity. You ain't see that shot coming, JF Kennedy, I guess. Got a bunch of midgets, bunch of mini-me's, I guess. Got a crystal send me, I'ma let it squeeze, I guess. Paul McCartney with the karma, let it be, I guess. Best of right now, yeah, bitch, I got just one man. Pull up solo. She drive a white Beetle. Yoko Ono. I been that bitch back. Quasimodo. They standing outside. They want a photo. She go below the belt. That's a low blow. I let them talk. It's free promo. She said I'm hot. I'm Diablo. I call the shots. Like I'm Pablo.
And we're live. We are live. I don't know if he's ready, but we're live. You ready? You ready? You ready? Ready? Hey, Nate. 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 I'm saying it over and over again because you're muted.
Not muted. It was on the wrong microphone.
Oh. What up, buddy?
What up, buddy? Well, first off, look at this delicious sacrifice I made.
Ooh.
Hash browns and eggs and
It's a sacrifice to the gods.
Sacrifice. I'm good. I'm sure we've got something very exciting to talk about.
Uh-oh. Well, what's that?
Well, you can allude to it with making the sound caca.
Caca! Tuki. So you watched it? Okay, good. I wasn't sure if you're going to watch it in the morning.
Well,
like
now that I have Fridays off, I'm
right.
Like, okay.
Okay, cool. No doubt. So yeah, Falcon and Winter Soldier came out today. Obviously, I watched it. I wasn't necessarily planning on getting up at 6 a.m. to watch it with my wife because she ends up leaving at 9 or whatever. So I wasn't planning on it, but it's like, I'm up, so why the fuck not? You know what I mean? So we watched it or whatever. What's your first impressions on this new, Marvel series?
Love it.
Love it. And
I am half tempted to go when we get done with this and watch Winter Soldier. Because that is the ambience and the vibe that it has put me. Like the fact that they were able to replicate that movie, basically just in this first episode, setting, cinematography, everything about it.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed. I'm like all fucking in right now. All in.
So now this is a rare occasion because before when we did WandaVision, it was almost like a whole week after. So now it's like the day of. We should be a little bit carefuler with spoilers because, we don't want to necessarily give anything away. Now, I do have to say there's not necessarily anything to quote-unquote spoil other than like literally the last, 2 minutes or whatever. But I feel like that was advertised anyways. But still, we won't give away the last 2 minutes. Instead, we'll give away, most of just like the character stuff.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing I think we could spoil, quote unquote, is what this whole episode was about, character development.
Yes.
Whereas
it's really cool to see like where they are. We get a really, really good fight scene with Falcon, and he does this mission that kind of sets up the big bad of the series essentially. And I absolutely love that bald guy was the guy that Captain America fought on the boat in Winter Soldier. So I love that. I absolutely love that. They obviously did that on purpose. So yes, I absolutely love that.
The very start to where you start to see those similarities come up with the tone and everything. And like, I'll be honest with you. The reactions that I had seen was that this is very much more MCU territory than WandaVision was because it's a little bit more experimental.
Yeah, okay.
And I can see that because the first fucking scene of the show is this really awesome chase scene with people in wingsuits and actual wingsuits. And there for a minute at the beginning of it, I was like, this is kind of like, a little over the top. Like there's parts of that where I'm like, man, okay, this is kind of over the top. But I was grinning fucking ear to ear. Like I was like so like I was like, oh man, this is just cool. It's kind of like Saturday morning cartoons. It's Friday morning cartoons.
Exactly. I think
that's exactly what it felt like.
I think that's the best part of it. I think my favorite part of the chase scene was when they would switch to Falcon, but they'd have like the camera like right here in front of him.
Yeah.
So you really got a feel for that like inertia of like what it must feel like with him just like zipping around like he does.
Yeah. And what's really great about the episode, it's kind of one of those, I want to break it down, but I feel like it's too soon.
Too soon, man. Too soon. I think the other favorite part of the entire episode was I wasn't expecting to give a shit that much, you know, because it really kind of shows. I mean, because this is something like, you know, maybe we haven't really thought about that much, but it's like both of these guys were blipped out of or snapped out of existence and then was a part of the blip. So both of these characters came back to a world that it's like, oh shit. Like there's one part where one of the side characters basically talks about where, you know, there's a group of people or whatever, kind of the main bads or whatever, and they think that life was better, during the snap or whatever, and he's like, no, it wasn't. It just wasn't. And so like that kind of like mentality, like, oh yeah, like life must have been effed up, but if you're not a good person, it probably was like, you know, free reign, like, you know, other than having to worry about if Rowan was going to come and, you know, slice your ass up.
Yeah. And something that I'm noticing that Marvel's doing that I think is very clever, I think that they're starting to build up what is going to be the new Avengers out of the Avengers that were blipped.
Yeah.
Because we're starting to see a trend. The Avengers that they're showcasing were the ones that were blipped out of existence.
Good point. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, we get to see the Falcon. He goes down to Louisiana, which if you don't know, I actually was born in Louisiana, Shreveport, Louisiana. So it's like, you know, I was like, but it's interesting to see like he has a family, you know, there's clearly sort of bad blood there because like, you know, she talks about how he basically just went off to the Air Force and
ran away from all his problems.
Yeah, ran away from all his problems or whatever, which like totally makes sense, especially like the point we saw him at the beginning of Winter Soldier. Yeah, you're totally right. We need to just go and watch that.
yeah. It's like and then what didn't help was while I was cooking breakfast. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Breakfast. I was watching a variety video about the Russo brothers breaking down the iconic Marvel moments, and they're breaking down the elevator scene. Yeah. And fun fact, apparently that's the first scene that they shot in the MCU.
Interesting.
But I was watching that scene. I'm like, it's like I want to watch this movie. I will say this right now. I think trilogy wise, what we've gotten so far, the best trilogy in the MCU, I think, is the Captain America story.
Hell yeah.
Because they're like Civil War. It's almost like an Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi thing for me. Civil War is interchangeable. I could see that being the best.
Yeah, right.
But I could also see Winter Soldier being the best.
Yeah, definitely.
But and even like First Avenger, you know, it's like it's okay. It's the first one. You know, it's kind of a little best, but the entire, if you loved Winter Soldier, you will absolutely love Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Right.
No question.
I mean, speaking of the Winter Soldier, his characterization and how basically he has to go to therapy, and that's part of his terms of his pardon, because obviously he was a brainwashed person. He tried to kill Iron Man, like he tried to kill everybody, you know. So like part of his pardon is he has to go to therapy, he has to promise not to hurt anybody, and that whole scene where he's like, you know, rule number 1, and then
making amends,
going through and like getting that senator that he put into power and all the bad stuff that she's done since he did that. And I'm like, oh dude, you know,
it's a great juxtaposition between the characters right off the bat, because it's like you see Falcon's like, oh, I'm the military hero, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier's in fucking therapy and like just chilling, like just trying to be an AA, a better person.
Right, and he's trying to do that thing where he's like he's making amends or whatever. So then we do get a flashback, which technically that was the first scene with him, was the flashback. And then we get, later on, we meet this old guy, and I called it right off the bat, even though there was a reveal. It's like, I called it right off the bat. That old guy starts talking about his son, and Winter Soldier is just like, fuck.
Yeah. And it's like, oh, that's heartbreaking. That's
right.
heartbreaking.
And it's like, I think they did the reveal. I call it a reveal because it's like you can just see it in Sebastian Stan's face when he starts talking about his son, and you can see the guilt in his face, and you can see the anguish in his face, that it's like, here's this old man that I'm enjoying his company, I'm trying to make amends to him. And there's even a part he goes out on a date with a girl, and they they start talking about, I can't remember what they started talking about. It kind of triggers him, and he's like, yeah, I got to get out of here. He goes to his like little Chinaman friend, and he goes there, and of course, what's there? A little shrine to his son. And who is it? Yeah, the guy that he randomly killed or whatever. And it's just like, oh, and it's like he was gonna tell him. He's like, I have to tell you something. And he's like, I forgot to give you back your money for lunch today. And it's like, oh, man. It just hits you in the feels. And it's definitely, like, I expect to care about these characters because it's the MCU, right? But to care about them in such a way that I do, and you have to really think about it, the MCU right now is doing a very interesting thing in making us like really bad people. Because if you think about it, Wanda's a really fucked up person. She took an entire city hostage and made them do stuff against their will, made them feel her pain, and yet we love Wanda. We love, Elizabeth Olsen and everything. Same thing with Sebastian Stan. He did some fucked up stuff. He's trying to make amends for it, but still he's a fucked up person, and yet they make us care about him. They make us, give a shit.
And with just minor exposition, they're able to break us into that character as far as, oh yeah, I didn't think about it like that. You went from one war to another in a calm period, and it's like, oh wow, you never stopped. Like there wasn't ever a down moment in your life. And then just the kind of old humor, like a man out of time that they give you, like the part whenever they're on the date. And she's like, how old are you again? He's like 106. She goes, ha ha ha. And he's like, yeah. Ha 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 ha
ha ha. That's my real laugh.
yeah. And so it's like they're kind of giving you kind of deeper insight into that character and both of them. Like the whole thing, seeing with Sam's family, like it's really great world building that they're doing.
Yeah.
And easily a stronger episode than WandaVision.
Just the first one, out of the gate, T-Full says the actor from Louisiana as well. Fun fact. Okay, so you're talking about the his sister, I'm assuming. Yeah, she's actually from Louisiana, so that's nice. Or maybe he's talking about Sam. Either way, it's nice that they would get somebody actually local. So yeah, I'll definitely agree. This first episode is leaving a better taste in my mouth because it's well recorded at this point. But episode 1 and 2, I really liked as standalone as Wanda. I actually really liked them just as sitcoms or whatever. And the mystery was definitely kind of dangling there. But it was just like, oh, this is a fun little whatever, And so, but then this one, like, I feel like they got to it a lot quicker, And so for that, I feel like this, I mean, for one, we only got one episode instead of 2 like we did with WandaVision. So, but we didn't need that extra.
And this one was 49 minutes long. This is a long episode.
Yeah. Except for the 10 minutes of fucking credits or whatever. So it's like technically 35, but yeah. I like it. I like where they're going with it. We're clearly getting some either Winter Soldier / Captain America-esque villains, because he does the Captain America kick, where he just like kicks him, he goes up against that freaking pole or whatever. It's like, okay, yeah, these guys clearly have some type of superpower, or they've been treated, because I mean that's what the Winter Soldier was. He was treated with some kind of, I can't remember if it was a serum or something, but I remember Janu, the guy from Civil War. Who was he?
Which guy are you talking about?
The bad guy.
Crossbones?
No, the bad guy from Civil War.
Oh, Baron Zemo.
Zemo.
Hi, baby. Hi.
Kitty cat. Zemo. So Zemo, goes to the place with all the super soldiers, and of course the whole time we're thinking he's gonna let them loose, but he ends up killing them or whatever. It's like, well, maybe he didn't kill them all, or maybe that was just one facility out of multiple facilities, because these people clearly have some type of superpower, or super strength, so I mean, that'll be interesting. Plus, I mean, I think one thing that makes Falcon interesting is the fact that he is kind of just a normal guy, but he just has some really cool tech or whatever. Mm-hmm. So him going up against, this will be interesting, because it's like, a normal guy.
And dealing with that like celebrity aspect, instead of Doctor Strange, you're not going to worry about that because he's fucking dealing with interdimensional shit.
Right.
I was like, Falcon's a regular dude, and they depict that. And it's like, oh, can I get a selfie? Like at the loan office.
Right.
That was really cringy. It was really cringy, but
super, especially where it ends up going, where he's like, "Yeah, we can't give you the loan." Or whatever. It's like, dude, I haven't been. It's like you don't have any income for the last 5 years. It's like it's hard to when you don't exist.
Isn't that such a bank government ass answer?
Right?
Oh my
God.
You were gone past 5 years. Sorry, you can't prove.
It's like I work for the government. I am a superhero. Like that should be it. That should be end of fucking discussion. But instead it's all like, oh, well, according to our, algorithm. Like, fuck off. Man. Ridiculous. So, congratulations. We haven't brought up grandpa sex or sex with our siblings yet.
Yes, good.
I mean, that's perfect. Let's cut it right now and go to a nice break before we do something crazy.
We'll start with it next time. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. If you guys are lucky and you're good, we'll start with grandpa sex next time. Okay? Jeez.
But Step Bro.
What are you doing, Step Bro?
I was raised in a single room cabin in the back alley, single pair of pants, single white female, single parent. Every single night dinner appeared. Now that's magic craft, single spread jam together. That's a jam sandwich. Rules are matter, but damn it, I hand talent stretch down and reach forward like a Mr. Fantastic. Fast forward a couple decades, a couple tax brackets, home is on me, just like a jackrabbit. I'm blasted like a crack addict, hacking like an asthmatic, sitting straight up in my sleep, just like a craftmatic. Can't be us, but go ahead, baby, have at it, choking the rap, slashing all whack rappers, and I got the Golden Globe. I'm the last dragon at the Golden Globes, rapper slash actor slash pastor slash savage. I look good and I travel for years, like a Ralph jacket, gone cool but unraveling to you real quick, like fast fashion. Although to be fair, you can't compare credentials. I'm like apples to pears, arrows to missiles. I mean, it's sort of unfair because I'm rare and I'm special. No fear, baby, jumped in the air like a paratrooper. No plan B, no safety net, no parachute. Apparently, I had no choice. What else could I do? Landed on my feet, $1,000 pair of boots. No inheritance, generational wealth, but heirlooms. Yet my efforts built an empire. Yours have yet to bear fruit. I'm in a presidential suite, your home crew shares rooms. All of y'all together, tangled up like some caribou. I got the 7 Deuce Camaro with the 6 barrel full foot completely off the pedal. Speed set on cruise. I'm so cold. My bone marrow's blue, polar bears be like. I'm so cold. Sleeping in the Pharaoh's tomb, singing Christmas carols and it's barely June.
One of one. There won't never be another one, never be another baby. One of one. Doing what I do, what I does on the daily. One of one. There won't never be another one, never be another baby. One of one. Doing what I do, what I does on the daily.
I am one of
crie au mic.
SK ma gueule, yeah.
Ils nous prennent tous pour des cons.
Bah oui.
Ils font la guerre, ils font semblant de nous dire qu'ils veulent la paix.
Et ça c'est bien connu, y'aura pas de traité de paix. Bah non, hein.
Il y aura pas de traité de paix, mon frérot. Bah ouais, mon ami, il y aura aucun traité de paix car c'est la guerre. Le canon est scié et faites pas chier. On est des milliers à être fâchés, enragés. Fichés, contrôlés, insultés par des teubés. Depuis petit peu ça flippe dans la street. Et ça fait les fous dans leur clip. Tout ceci me fatigue, aucun mérite. Les miens sont malades en façade, dans la colle c'est la noyade. S'endorment tous avec des regrets. 9 mm chargés sous l'oreiller, on sait jamais. Sa vie avec la peur au ventre, faut assumer. La peur d'une perquise ou bien d'une descente. Ta mère c'est quand tu sors mais pas quand tu rentres. À 10 ou à 30 maintenant tu peux te faire descendre. Viens pas faire l'ancien, regarde tous ces gamins en admiration sur le système américain. Vas-y, laissez partir tous ces fuyards. La vie c'est pire que Fort Boyard. Pour un regard, ça peut partir en bagarre. Pour un cocard, tu peux finir au mitard. Vas-y, laissez partir tous ces fuyards. La vie c'est pire que Fort Boyard. Pour un regard, ça peut partir en bagarre. Pour un cocard, tu peux finir au mitard. Audi A8 qui prend la fuite, tu connais la suite. Madame la juge en toutes tes pensées. À faire de la merde, qu'est-ce que tu croyais? Beaucoup vendent des sachets par nécessité. Le loyer, c'est qui va le payer? Ta daronne se prostitue au soir dans la rue. Souvent traité de te plus impossible d'entamer un refus. Pour que tu puisses bouffer ta vue si t'avais su. Appelle-moi Istri, je pars en guerre contre les cons. L'État nous la fout bien profond dans le fion. Le peuple en a perdu la raison, double pénétration. Putain pour la sympathie, le temps est réparti. Tout s'achète avec des yébis, Bernard Tapie. Ici les gens sont dégoûtés, allez viens m'écouter. Souvent on est flouté, n'écoute pas leur JT. Tout est à jeter pour faire la guerre, ici on est prêt. Vas-y, laissez partir tous ces fuyards. La vie c'est pire que Fort Boyard. Pour un regard, ça peut partir en bagarre. Pour un cocard, tu peux finir au mitard. Vas-y, laissez partir tous ces fuyards. La vie c'est pire que Fort Boyard. Pour un regard, ça peut partir en bagarre. Pour un cocard, tu peux finir au mitard. Vas-y, laissez partir tous ces fuyards. La vie c'est pire que Fort Boyard. Pour un regard, ça peut partir en bagarre. Pour un cocard, tu peux finir au mitard.
Y'aura pas de traité de paix. La guerre c'est ancien comme la marque DDP. La dette épaisse trop lourd, beaucoup d'air traité le paix. On fait la guerre en pays dominé pendant que toi tu te suces. Et pour du son fort tu l'as fait à ton voix du dessus. Gros vif faut faire du fric horrible, sinon c'est frigo vide. Refile au fil si grippe Covid, ce qui s'ensuit devient vite torride. C'est la guerre entre les classes sociales, entre les races. On court donc crois pas que si ton gamme au scale entre les rails. Non, personne t'aidera, ils sont tous en guerre contre eux-mêmes. J'ai pas de respect pour la bêtise de moi, j'ai pas ce contre-remède. Pour réveiller les consciences affaiblis. Toi t'es tranquille tant que t'as fait le blé du jour et t'as le sourire quand ça fait gling. On se fait la guerre pour le nerf de la guerre. On aime la merde donc des mères de la gère. Et on digère de la gère plus que affolant. Nous sommes en guerre mais foutez-nous la paix. Y'a plus que du rouge sur le drapeau blanc.
Vas-y, laissez partir tous ces fuyards. La vie c'est pire que Fort Boyard. Pour un regard, ça peut partir en bagarre. Pour un cocard, tu peux finir au mitard. Vas-y, laissez partir tous ces fuyards. La vie c'est pire que Fort Boyard. Pour un regard, ça peut partir en bagarre. Pour un cocard, tu peux finir au mitard.
Nerdnet Radio Direct. Très bien.
National Nerdnet Radio Direct, where our topic of the day is more grandpa sex.
Oui. Oh, man.
Le hip hop, as they call it. Le hip hop.
Ah, zut. Zut, zut, zut.
Now we're getting into languages. I don't speak Spanish.
No, zut is damn. Zut, zut is zut. Like in Monty Python, there's a character named Zut. And so she gets mad at herself, and she's like, zut, 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 zut. And I'm just like, I'll see what you did there. It's quite clever.
Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man.
Man, oh, man, oh, man. That was super sexist. What about people?
Oh, there's that.
There is that. There is that. Okay. So, hey, what have you been up to other than the Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Got that out of the way. What else have you been up to?
Well, so the biggest thing of note, if you haven't seen, is that thing right behind me. So I got a Quest 2.
I was like, Sonic?
Sonic, yes.
There again?
So,
Sweet.
Yeah, I got a Quest 2. Couple things. First off, go ahead whenever you're looking to buy one of these and get the enhanced stuff. So buy what's called the Elite Strap, which is basically like the PSVR headset. It's like $50, and then go ahead and buy you another face cover.
Okay.
So
interesting.
The thing with VR is like there's still some hurdles that I got to get around. So first off, first hurdle I noticed, my glasses didn't fit. Glasses didn't fit at all. So I tried it on to wear with my glasses, and they were pressed against my face so hard they left marks. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just try at least doing the setup without my glasses. It was kind of getting disorienting. So it's like, let me go put my contacts in.
That's interesting. That's interesting. So even though, like, I'm assuming it's something like PlayStation where you can put it farther closer to your face, which would hopefully mess with the focus. But even without glasses, that doesn't help.
Well, so that's the thing. I have had zero issues with PSVR in terms of sight wearing my glasses. It is a lot better in terms of that way. The problem is my glasses are just too wide. Now, in the box, they give
thick ass glasses.
I got some thick
You
ass glasses.
fucking nerd.
In the box, they give you a glasses spacer, so you can take this out like this, and then there's another piece that basically extends it out. But my problem is my glasses that I have are too wide, and they're too wide and too tall. So now there's a couple other routes you could go. You can get prescription lenses for these, which will run you between $60 and $80.
Dear God.
And yeah, so it's
prescription lenses for a VR. Wow.
Yeah.
What have we come to?
Yeah. But I mean, some of the, like, at least buy a new face cover. And I tell you this, if you can't tell, the reason why I say that, I have some sort of either allergic reaction or rash going on around my face.
Really? I just thought it always looked like that.
So there's red around, like on my forehead and around here.
Interesting.
And I don't know what caused it. There was a lot of taking this on and off, giggity. And that might have caused like an irritation. But like I woke up this morning and like my face was itchy and I was scratching it. And so it caused this. So get you a different cover for sure when you first buy it. But from what I basically did was downloaded the Super Hot demo and the Beat Saber demo.
Hot.
I'm going to buy the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners, and I can gameplay capture. So from the headset itself. So there's definitely stuff we can do there.
Interesting. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. And you can stream it like straight to Facebook if you want. You can do like a lot of really cool things. Super Hot, it's a lot better than PSVR. It is, because the clarity is so much better. The freedom of motion is so much better. But I still have that initial setup issue that I had with like not being able to use these, and like it was a whole process. See, my forehead's itchy right now. So once I get it to where like I can comfortably do it more, giggity, I'm gonna enjoy it a lot more. But It's really cool. I got it for a steal. I got it for like $200,
Right.
where they're usually like $300 or $400. So
Nice.
I'm excited to see what you can do with it, because I also discovered it does the hand tracking. I didn't know that.
Oh, like the fingers? So you can be like,
Yeah,
ah!
Yeah, you can literally go like that. Yeah, you can. Yeah, it does, because there's cameras all along the front of it. You basically can do it's full finger tracking, but not a lot of games. Not a lot of games do it, but the controllers are really interesting. Like, they're really interesting to hold.
Yeah.
Um.
So okay, real quick, have you seen the new PSVR controllers?
I have, and they look sexy as hell.
Sexy as fuck. Anyways, go on.
Yeah, well, we can actually compare between the two, but they're cool. I like what they're doing. They're a little bit.
How does
they're
it track
interesting
your
to get used to.
fingers? I would have thought your fingers go through the sensors, and that's how they figure out what they're doing.
So I don't know how it works, to be honest with you. The only thing that it actually really track. Oh, okay. Hold on. You basically use it two ways: with the controllers or with your hands.
Interesting.
So yeah, I can have the headset on with no controllers, and the cameras are tracking my hands.
body is the controller.
So like, if you're navigating the menu, you can use your fingers to like pinch and zoom and like
Interesting.
do stuff like that. But with this, it can track and I think with this little Halo thing, it can track like your thumb and your index finger, because like I could move my hand around like that in the game I was playing.
Right.
But yeah, basic mechanics are to grab, like you use this, and that's obviously to shoot. So the thing to keep in mind, which is different from PSVR, you're not used to having to hold the button to hold the thing. I can't tell you how many times I was dropping fucking guns in Super Hot because I kept letting go of this. So it's like real hold on to it. But yeah, I mean, I wish I could play more of it, but it's just because those initial hurdles, it's like it's kind of one of those. Damn it! I wish.
Can't do it too long.
I'm excited, honestly.
So yeah, since you brought it up, we'll go ahead and switch gears first, because this is actually a story we were going to talk about later, but that's okay. So yeah, I got the
perfect segue.
Yeah, we got the pictures up on screen right now. So yeah, they look pretty hot, and I would think, I don't know obviously, but I would think that the reason it's around your hand is to track everything. So I could be like, pow, do the bird. I can do pinky when I'm drinking something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm assuming that's what the Halos would be for. Because otherwise, why the fuck would you have that?
Right, and you are correct. Yeah, from what they've said, these controllers are going to be full finger tracking, like full haptic feedbacks, so they'll be able to it's a very immersive experience.
Imagine, oh my god, haptic feedback. So it's like when you pull back. See, when you pull back a string like on a PS5 controller, you're supposed to be able to feel that tension, yada yada. But like, imagine actually somehow feeling it when you're actually like doing the motion yourself. Oh my god, that'd be so freaking badass.
Yeah, I think that these actually have the. Oh, I got cat ass. There you go. I think that these actually have a chance of really being setting the next step, because right now the best VR controller is the Valve Index controllers, because it's got the knuckle tracking full, like playing that Boneworks game and any of the other stuff with those. It's like the best way to do it, except for the fact that the Index by itself is close to a $1,200 system. Along those lines.
Which one did you say had the best one?
Index.
Vive
Index.
VR controller. Here, we're gonna take a look at that so you can get a good comparison.
Yeah, Index is.
Oh, interesting. Which one is it?
So it's the ones that the knuckle guard type of controllers.
So this one right here. Okay.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
But yeah, if you go to YouTube I'll send you a link, because there's.
Oh, I see. Okay, that makes sense now. Now I see a hand in it. You got the straps. You have the strap-ons right there, and yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Interesting. I mean, if you look at it, it actually looks quite a bit like what PSVR ended up going with, because you have like essentially the analog right here, and then I have my buttons right here, and then there's a button like right here. Sorry for you listeners. you don't get the visuals of me saying here. Okay. Oh, you're making me do stuff.
And they do. It's a really good visual representation of what it does.
Only pay for what you need with Liberty Mutual. I just said that.
No.
Oh God. What, ranch on pizza?
At long last, we can show you guys the Index hardware. So this is Valve's new VR headset.
Oh, is this Corridor?
And what better than deploy a little bit of Boneworks on it? We're gonna show you more of the headset today than Boneworks, but essentially.
Can they see what's going on, by the way?
Sort of
I mean, the video is on our screen.
But we got a little bit more for you guys today.
Oh, okay, so they can't see us.
They can't see us. Yeah, they can see the.
He's a little heavy.
That on the little screen.
Is that better?
No. Now it's the borders on the video.
With a fucking pencil,
almost there.
Man.
We're doing it live, folks.
He's spanking.
Hold on. Well, I don't understand what's going on. Yeah, see, that's good enough. Get over it.
Booty after, just like in John Wick.
Yeah, that's a very provocative pose right there.
It's really weird having a guy flailing at you in VR and then actually being able to like physically grab his arms. And he's there struggling, and you're like, I'm holding on to this guy that's trying to kill me.
This headset is really nice. Just the fabric it's made of.
Oh,
it
Nick, I
fits your
can't hear
face
anything.
so much nicer. The other
That's
one
okay, I
just
don't
feels
give a
kind of
shit.
floppy and wobbly. And also,
Okay, I get it.
Oh, okay, you were
yeah,
talking
and
about
you can have a
example
Halloween
face.
costume that comes
There's
with
a video
it.
playing.
Yeah, it comes with your super suit.
Okay, how the
You get
fuck
to
do I
be,
get out of this
Spank
now?
or not ever
Oh, here we
going.
go.
Who is that
So
guy?
they come with different sizes.
Okay, there we go. Jesus. Okay, get rid of that. Badoosh. Boom. All right,
Oh.
let's get back into it. All right. And boom. So, yeah, I could see how PlayStation is at least inspired by the HTC Vive controller because just their setup looks almost identical. I do kind of hope they have straps because now that I've seen it with the straps, it makes sense to have the straps because you can't exactly go like this with the controller. Because then it's for audio listeners, I opened up my hands. It's like you can't do that with a controller because then you drop the damn controller. So the HTC have straps on them so you can completely open your hand up to literally grab something.
Yeah.
And so I don't know if these pictures just don't show us that it has a strap or, because obviously this is very crisp and clean or whatever. So it's like, they're trying to make it look good. So maybe, they do kind of have straps, but they look more like the Wii straps where like they go around your wrist. Yeah. So I don't know what that's going to do when you literally want to open your hand up to grab something. So yeah, I'm not sure about that one.
But yeah, them leading with the haptic feedback too. Like I haven't held the Index, so I don't know what the haptics are like, but they're wanting to put the technology that they did into the into the DualShock 5 or DualSense, the DualSense. Yeah. Why did I say DualShock fucking 5? The DualSense. That's it's like, okay, all right. That I like where you're going. Like you could be leading like in a more consumer sense. Because the Valve Index by itself, it's so expensive. It's the most professional.
That's like $999, isn't it?
It's like $1,000 for the headset and the whole thing itself, and then of course you've got to have the powerful rig to play it.
Yeah, on top of it.
So
yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, well, good. I'm glad you ended up getting that because I remember you talking about that last time. So you just been vibing on that?
Well, yeah, I played it yesterday.
Obviously, yeah.
I played it yesterday because I got it yesterday. So I have a total of 3, like maybe not even 3 hours, maybe an hour into it, and so I haven't had a lot of hands-on time with it yet. So hopefully, hopefully when I get the some of the rest of the stuff for it, I can do that soon and enjoy it a lot better. But apart from that, I'm still in that kind of game limbo.
Yeah,
where I'm in that like game and show limbo too. And I almost, going back to whenever we were talking about the wanting to watch The Winter Soldier, it almost got me to the point where I'm like, am I ready for an MCU rewatch? Am I ready? Is that what I'm ready for?
Is my body ready?
Is my body ready? Because it's kind of like I'm getting in that MCU mood again, like we used to be, on the high after Ant-Man and the Wasp leading into Endgame. Like that was the last time we really felt that swell where we wanted to consume all of that. But games in particular, like I still haven't been able to find that thing that I'm like, yes, like this is my new.
You should always find the thing.
You should. Most men don't.
Well, yeah. After WandaVision, we ended up watching Age of Ultron or whatever. That is such a under appreciated movie. Like, I just remember everybody bitching and complaining, even to this day, that Age of Ultron isn't as good. I'm like, how? Fucking how? Because this movie is amazing. Now, granted, the behind the scenes, Joss Whedon and how, you know, the company just kept fucking with him or whatever. Yeah, okay, I could probably see that, right? But the movie is great, still is great. It holds up, and if anything, like now, kind of like seeing where Wanda goes, not only through WandaVision, but just through to Endgame or whatever. It's just like you gain a new appreciation in seeing like her origin, essentially.
Yeah.
So that and Vision's origin. So
I would almost argue that Age of Ultron's better than the first Avengers in retrospect now, because. Like the first Avengers is still a phenomenal movie, but in hindsight, it's like, oh, the scale of it, we've got to fucking Endgame now. Like the scale that was the big thing about Avengers is not there anymore, you know? Whereas Age of Ultron really more focuses on characters and like character development. And, you know, Ultron, James Spader's Ultron is a perfect indication of that. Like they picked such a prolific actor to play this villain. And he talked like he wasn't an action villain in a lot of ways. He was a fucking monologue villain, and that was okay. It's I really, really do enjoy Age of Ultron, and the whole tone of it's fun too.
Yeah,
the whole beginning scene is just like, this is great.
Definitely. Definitely. So I mean, yeah, I've been kind of interrupt myself, like I'm still playing Zombies Outbreaks, and I'm still doing season 2 of Call of Duty. I'm still kind of on track, but it's just I'm just not feeling it this time. I don't know if it has to do with the fact that, like the unlocks, I'm not super excited about all the unlocks this time, or if it was just like I got a new game, I got the first one for free, and it was like I was living up to the investment that I put into it. Whereas now it's like I would have to buy this one, and so I'm still putting in the time, I'm still putting in the effort, but I don't know. It's different now. It's different. I still like prefer Outbreak now over a regular map. So now I still can't wait for like Transit, but I don't know. It's just, and I think it is just where my headspace is, because like I've gotten to the point where I've even gone back to Fallout 76, and I'm having a lot of fun with that. That's kind of itching that open world itch, so to speak. You know, I can just go in and just get lost for a while. I still have a really bad problem with becoming overcumbered in that fucking game. Like, and I would play this in like Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. I'd play the exact same way, where I would go to an area and I would loot the absolute crap out of everything. I'd grab every tin can on the fucking ground, every pencil on a table, and then I'd go somewhere and I'd sell it all for caps or whatever. And so I'm always flush with caps. Nothing, you know, not having a
weird
care
flex,
of the world.
but okay.
Yes. Okay, I have so many damn caps. I am a rich man in Fallout 76. But that's also why I think I liked Fallout 76 so much more than your average Fallout person, because like your average Fallout person, like they were bitching and complaining about how you don't have any like dialogue trees or talking, and it's like what I liked about Fallout 76 is that I was able to get into the action, get into the exploring a lot quicker, because the exploring everything is now for the people who wanted like a more traditional Fallout. They have like the NPCs and stuff like that. So they have that for those people, but for me, it's like I'm totally fine going to an area and spending, you know, a whole hour just going to every single dresser, every single desk, and just looting the absolute crap out of it.
I'll be honest with you, you're kind of talking me towards Fallout 76 at this specific moment.
Right.
And I'm saying that because like that's kind of where I was. My memory of Fallout 3 is the fucking intro, because I can't tell you how many times I played the intro to that game trying to play and get into the game. I got maybe where I shot the first fucking, what is it, Fat Boy?
Yeah.
Like that was basically most of my memory of 3. 4, I got a lot farther in.
Yeah.
But after a while, I just got a fatigue for it, and I was like, But even still, like, if I'm thinking about my enjoyment of Fallout, it's going through areas and looting and crafting and doing that. You know, with Skyrim, it's definitely more quest based. Like I do mainline quests in Skyrim. Maybe just because the world is not really geared towards me looting as much.
Yeah, I mean, I've always enjoyed more the world and exploring in a Fallout game. Like, I'm that person, there's always, like, jokes about it. It's all like, you know, in Fallout 4, for instance, you lose your son and you're supposed to go get your son, but you're like, ooh, what's over here? Like, I was that person. And same thing with Fallout 3. It's like, you have a similar situation where you lose your dad or whatever. You lose a lot of things in Fallout, and then you're supposed to just go fucking find them. Anyways, but yeah, I just kind of go wherever the hell I want or whatever. And Fallout 76, I really do believe, even when it was really fucked up and lots of bugs, it pretty much was just Fallout with friends.
Yeah.
And that's all it needed to be for me, because I wasn't the person who was interested in the, 30 pages deep dialogue tree. I wasn't into that stuff. I'm not into, all the, documents. And the thing is that it was still there. Like, there's this one character, Rosie. She's a robot, and she has a very kind of claptrappy type of personality, but she's like a girl robot, a girl bot. And you end up finding out her story, basically, where, like, I think she got her memories from this raider or whatever, and you find out where her, like, cell was and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, this is kind of funny, like, because you listen to this, like, recording of her interrogation at the time, and it's clearly the same voice actor, but it's now, and then you go up to a body, and it's like, one of the things you can loot from her is Rosie's note. And I'm like, oh, this is Rosie? Damn. And kind of like, that's what I've always liked about Fallout, is these little side stuff. The main stories have never really been that interesting. My favorite memory from Fallout 3 isn't finding my dad and going into the super collider and killing myself. My favorite memory from Fallout 3 is going to this random ass house, talking to this guy. Something was super sus about him, and I'm like, something's going on with this fucker. I end up waiting until night, and I go into his like shed or whatever, because he's like acting super sus about it. And I'm like, I go into his shed, and yeah, there's like human body parts and skulls and everything. And I'm like, motherfucker, this is a cannibal. That's why he's acting so fucking suspicious. And so I come out, and as soon as I come out, he's on the outside of the door, and he's like, well, I guess I can't let you leave. And I'm like, oh, pow, pow, pow. And it's so fucking, like, that's my favorite experience from Fallout, not anything in the main mission, not the Red Steel motherfuckers, or is that what it's called? Red Steel?
Brotherhood of Steel.
Brotherhood of Steel. Not the Brotherhood of Steel timeline, not the other timeline. There's a whole fucking timeline in Fallout 3 where you could go and try to become a fucking vampire. Like, what the fuck? Like, I'd expect that in Skyrim, because you can literally go do that in Skyrim. But, like, in Fallout or whatever, there's this group of people who think they become vampires. I don't think they do. And, like, you do get kind of a perk that lets you, like, get some kind of buff or whatever that does kind of make you a vampire. But it's like, you don't literally become a vampire. You just get some kind of weird mutation or whatever. I don't know. But it's like, that's my favorite memories from Fallout. And that's what I got with Fallout 76. And I've always kind of said that, like, I didn't experience the, mountain of bugs that a lot of the people, talking shit about it do. Like, there's people to this day that still talk shit about it, which to a certain degree, it's like, I don't think it's fair, because it's definitely gotten to the point where like No Man's Sky was, where No Man's Sky started off shitty, but now it's gotten to the point where it's a lot better. You know, is it, you know, AAA or whatever? No, I don't think Fallout or Skyrim's ever been like AAA in the sense of execution, because they've always been buggy as fuck. You know what I mean?
It's like in a game. I was gonna say a game like Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is still a very buggy game. Like that's kind of one of those universally you can, and that's what's kind of kept me from playing it, is because it's like, it's overwhelming, but also it's like I can see, like I saw one moment where my friend character literally walked through a car. Yeah. Like nothing happened. I'm like, I got brakes a little.
Immersion broken, and I'm just, I just saw a thing on Twitter talking about the next big update will fix cops and cars. And it's like, oh, good, because we wouldn't want that fixed before it comes out. Like, because I remember, like, Angry Joe's a big one where, like, he has this video up where he's inside a club and cops just start spawning in the room he's in because he did one little thing that was wrong. And it was this bullshit thing. And all of a sudden they just spawn. And there was even one that ended up spawning inside a wall or whatever. And it's like, okay, yeah, this game is fucking trash. Like, no matter how much you might connect with the story or it might just speak to you or whatever, no, this game is fucking trash. Like, it's not fucking working. So, all right, so we're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, I'm going to tell you about how I finally tried 2 games that a lot of people have been talking about. What are they? You're going to have to wait and find out.
Wes Anderson in the building. Hey! Peanut on bass. Lyrics born on vocals. I was raised in a single room cabin in the back alley. Single pair of pants, single white, female, single parent. Every single night, dinner appeared. Now dance, magic craft, single spread, jam together. That's a jam sandwich. Rules are matter, but damn it, I hand talent stretch down and reach forward like a Mr. Fantastic. Fast forward a couple decades, a couple tax brackets, all is on me. Just like a jackrabbit. I'm blasted like a crack addict, hacking like an asthmatic, sitting straight up in my sleep, just like a craftmatic. Can't be us, but go ahead, baby, have at it, choking the rap, slashing all whack rappers, and I got the Golden Globe. I'm the last dragon at the Golden Globes, rapper slash actor slash pastor slash savage. I look good and I travel for years, like a Ralph jacket, y'all cool, but unraveling tear real quick, like fast fashion. There won't never be another one, never be another baby. One of one, doing what I do, what I does on the daily. One of one. There won't never be another one, never be another baby. One of one, doing what I do, what I does on the daily. Now let's break it down to the bare essentials. Although to be fair, you can't compare credentials. I'm like apples to pears, arrows to missiles. I mean, it's sorta unfair because I'm rare and I'm special. No fear, baby, jumped in the air like a paratrooper. No plan B, no safety net, no parachute. Apparently I had no choice. What else could I do? Landed on my feet, $1,000 pair of boots. No inheritance, generational wealth, but heirlooms. Yet my efforts built an empire. Yours have yet to bear fruit. I'm in a presidential suite, your home crew shares rooms. All of y'all together, tangled up like some caribou. I got the 7 Deuce Camaro with the 6 barrel boom, completely off the
Hello, everybody.
I'm so cold.
We're done with this song because I just realized that this song's already been on. So,
doing it live.
This sounds familiar. It's on random. And then I tried choosing one that actually had fucking words.
What are you eating? Is that chips? Or is that
No,
crack- or is that Cheez-Its?
it's baby skin. I dry it up and I just chomp on it. Nom, nom, nom. Sometimes I add
Alright,
a little
Buffalo
ranch
Bill.
to it.
Oh, ranch makes everything better.
Except for pizza. Jesus Christ, why?
Dude, ranch on pizza is fucking phenomenal. Don't even go there.
I could see ranch on pizza if it was like one of those chicken pizzas. Like, that would be delicious. But like ranch on a fucking pepperoni pizza? Maybe cold. Maybe cold. I could see it cold. Cold pizza, ranch, I could see that being good. But like warm pizza and cold fucking ranch? No. No, thank you.
One of my favorite places back home, it's just a specific type of pizza that they had.
Yeah.
But it was Hawaiian pizza. It was on a thin crust.
No, you've already lost me. You already fucking lost me.
Pineapple, ham, and then bell pepper. And they had this homemade ranch that was like, so good.
There are 2 types of people in this world. Really psychotic people, just down and dirty people, and then people who don't like pineapple on their fucking pizza.
Do you know the definition of insanity?
Pineapple on pizza.
I thought that went out perfectly.
So there goes half our viewership just like, fuck you, I like pineapple. That's the best thing
good.
about
Hey,
Nick
I'm
Nick
in your
and Nate.
camp. Yep. Yeah,
That's
pineapple on pizza.
That's the biggest thing about Nick and Nate. We're not gonna agree, and I love conversations that come from that. You know what I mean? We're definitely on each other's side most of the time, but like I
What
like.
is that you're drinking? Because that looks delicious.
It is a sparkling, not sponsored by the way. Sparkling ice, and it's cherry limeade. It's okay. I like the other flavor a little bit better.
Yeah, the sparkling ices are hit or miss for me because there's some flavors I really enjoy and some I'm like, ooh, I just don't like. That's not like it tastes like stale soda.
Yeah. See, like I like this way more than I do like fucking LaCroix, because LaCroix feel like it's 99 parts soda water and 1 part whatever flavor it is, and that's just too fucking much for me.
So I have a drink question for you, a adult question.
Ooh.
Have you ever had ranch water before?
Oh God. What? In
Do you know
what
what ranch water is?
context would I need ranch water?
So ranch water is a West Texas drink that kind of has gotten a lot more popular. So what it is limes, like a good bit of limes, make fresh lime juice, tequila,
Okay.
and Topo Chico.
The fuck is Topo Chico?
You don't know what Topo Chico is? It's the mineral water. It's the like sparkling mineral water. Honestly, Topo Chico. Look up a picture of Topo Chico. You'll probably seen the label. Topo Chico is very much spicy water. Like LaCroix is flavored sparkling water. Topo Chico is spicy water. Like that shit'll get you after a while.
I might have seen this like at a Walmart or something, but yeah,
but it's basically not flavored sparkling water. That's actually better for you because it's mineral. But anyway, it's a really good like drink concoction, and it's very simple to make.
You should cock.
I did say cock. Yes, coction. Concoction.
So I know it's killing you guys. What games have I played that everyone's talking about? So number one is I finally got to play Among Us.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Who here among us?
Zoe-Ann! Zoe-Ann, come here real fast. This is hilarious. It's adorably hilarious. Come here, baby. Hurry it up. Come on. Come here. Okay. So what new game did I get you?
It's called Among Us.
So how do you say it? Say among?
Among Us.
Among Us? Can you say among?
Among
Us.
Us.
All right, get out of here. No, it's fine. Go to your room, silly.
Among Us.
Go back to your room. I'll be done in a little bit. Go. I should have taken her out, I guess, but still. So, yes, Among Us. I finally got a chance to play that. Zoe-Ann's been bugging me about it forever because she watches a bunch of like YouTube videos about it or whatever. And so, can you please go back to your room, please? Okay. So I finally got it for her because, we got that stimmy. So I was like, all right, $5 isn't that bad. So I got it for it on the Switch. And it's really fun. She's really enjoying it. I really like it. But the biggest negative for me on the Switch, I don't know about it on the PC or anything like that, but the biggest negative is there's no voice chat on the Switch. And I'm like, this is dumb. Like,
yeah, that makes 0 sense.
Like, sure, you can go in and you can literally get the keyboard on your Switch and tap it out with your fingers or whatever, but I mean, Zoe-Ann can't do that. You know what I mean?
No.
I could do it, but I don't know how fast I could do it. And then they have this quick chat, but it's just like all the streams, all the funny videos that I've seen about it.
Yeah, we both have crying.
Okay, hold on.
People. Yeah. So all mine's having to do is cat. Hi, cat. Look at this cat. This kitty cat. Hi, beautiful sacrifice. You're my sacrifice. You're a beautiful sacrifice. Oh no, I couldn't take another sacrifice. Thank you for the sacrifice. Oh.
Okay. They're not happy. I shouldn't have done that, I guess. But yeah, any videos I've seen, it's people, having an emergency meeting, talking amongst each other,
talking
themselves,
among us,
and just, having fun that way. And then like also being able to see somebody like talk their way out of being, sus or whatever. It's like, oh no, I'm not the imposter. It must be this guy because I saw them going, and it really is them. Like, that's what makes this game fun, is being the imposter, being able to like talk your way out of it, or being a sleuth and you're like, oh, you know, like I saw you go in there and then I also saw a dead body. So how do you explain yourself? You know, and being able to like be like a detective or whatever. So whether you're a crewmate or the imposter itself or whatever, like that's the whole point of it is communication. So not having that on a Switch, and I even plugged in these headphones. See, I got the little microphone here. You click it down and it's fine. So, and not having that is just like,
I think it might be through the app, because you remember how they did that bullshit weird way on the Switch where you have to use the Nintendo app for voice chat. That's how they have it with Splatoon and other games like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they have it. I don't know anything about gameplay on the Switch for Among Us, but I know for like Splatoon and the other multiplayer games, that's how you have to do it, is through.
Gotcha.
But I mean, here's what you could do. The workaround on that is, you know, just get on Discord like on your phone. That would be the easiest
but I
thing to
mean,
do.
like,
I know it's not
that's
the
a good
same.
Yeah, that's a good exchange for
Workaround.
me. But yeah, for her, it's like, you know, I'd rather just be able to
Have
get her
her talk on
in
the
the game or whatever. Even though obviously then I have to worry about some asshole, you know, cursing at her or something. But still, it's like, you know, yeah. So that's my only negative. She got imposter for the first time. Just a second.
Yeah, so Among Us, I haven't actually played myself. So what's really interesting to me is it's one of those games that the zeitgeist has been really high about, but I can't bring myself to play just because it's like I don't have that specific setting. So maybe if I did, it would be a different story overall. But I don't know if I enjoy watching Among Us more or playing it. And I think that does have a lot to do with the fact of me not playing the game. So that's interesting. But yeah, I mean, do you guys, I don't know if you guys remember that whole thing with Switch, because they haven't talked about it or no other game has brought it up. So I'm wondering if that's actually still a thing. And in fact, while he's gone, I'm actually going to look that up. Game chat for Among Us on Switch. And we'll look this up. Okay.
Joys of doing it live. Give me just actually one more sec. It's starting to get hot. I'm gonna get my fan on here. Here we go. Okay. We'll just cut it there, I guess. Anyways, so what was the last thing I was talking about? Oh yeah, not being able to communicate is just, you know, a big negative for me. So we'll see. I'll get a little bit more into it. What I was saying is she got to be imposter for the first time, and then it was really fun just watching her, because she actually was able to. The first time they called like an emergency meeting, like they voted on somebody else, so somebody else ended up getting vented. And then she went and killed one person, was running around or whatever trying to basically find another person, and was able to kill another person, which was because it was a smaller lobby, she won. And so it was really cool to see that, obviously, to see like the joy in her eyes and everything. That was just really
winning
cool.
a game like that. Yeah, that's a really good memory to have.
Right.
It's like beating like a really hard level in Mario, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
A little bit more dated reference.
Super great. Another game I was able to play that a lot of people have been talking about, Valheim. I went ahead and bought it. My offer still stands. I will buy your copy if you want to start playing it with me. I mean, the main thing I can talk about it is
what's your elevator pitch?
Right now, my elevator pitch is, for me, it's one of the best survival games I've played. There are some out there that are way too fucking tedious, as far as I have to eat every 3 goddamn seconds, or I have to drink every 3 goddamn seconds. You know, I take one step over here and suddenly I'm poisoned, or I take a drink of goddamn water, and you know what I mean?
These are games like 7 Days to Die, and stuff like that.
Exactly. Like, I like 7 Days to Die, but there is so much about that fucking game is so goddamn tedious, and it's just like, I've never really gotten into Minecraft, so I can't really compare it to Minecraft at all. My main thing is like 7 Days to Die. I know there's others, and honestly, it's escaping me right now. But yeah, most of the time it's just like they take the survival aspect to it and they just crank it up. And most of them I just don't like. Whereas this one, you know, I don't think there's a hydration meter. I think there's a nutrition meter. So it's like I need to eat, but so far I haven't had to drink at all. And even then the eating is more about getting more health than it is about there being this meter that I have to constantly feed into, you know, like, oh, you're hungry, you better eat. 5 minutes later, oh, you're hungry, you better eat. Oh, you're hungry, you better eat. Hungry, you better eat. You better eat. You better eat. It's like, oh my God. And it's like, it grinds on you. So far, this is like a really good mixture of, like, I guess a good example is you start the game off at 25 health. That's not a lot of health, especially if you get in the wrong fight or something. But you eat some berries, it'll start to go up. You eat some more, it'll start to go up. I do like their kind of system. So basically, you eat a berry, and then right next to your health bar will be like a picture of a berry, and that means you don't want any more berries. But you can go and eat some mushrooms, and so then that'll put a mushroom right next to your life bar. And then I can eat some, you know, like a drumstick, you know, a meat drumstick or whatever, and that'll put that. So you can only have a certain number of like food items, and it will start to gradually make your health go up or whatever. But I can't eat too much and then, you know, kill myself. You know, I can't eat too much, you know, and then eventually, you know, the little food icon will start to blink, and then it'll eventually go away. So then that means, okay, I can eat some more berries or more. It seems right now like the limit is 3 types of food. You know, basically if you eat too many berries, you're just like, nah, I don't feel like berries anymore. But then you wait a little while and you feel like berries again. So it's an interesting system, but it's not just constantly egging at me. You know what I mean? Then there's like the building system, or the crafting system. I love it. I absolutely love it. Just a really good example is cutting down a tree. You know, cutting down a tree and it falls over, you know, and you can get crushed by it. Luckily that didn't happen. I did have an instance where like it rolled into me and I took a little bit of damage, and I'm like, oh, fuck. But what's cool is that it falls down, then you can keep chopping at it. It'll break in half, and then you'll get like 10 wood, and then you cut the other part of it, and then you get like 10 app, and then another part of it, depending on how, you know, tall that tree is. And I'm like, okay, that's really cool. Then there's this one time I'm cutting down a tree, it falls over, knocks over another tree, falls over, and then gets caught up on one of the branches of another tree. And I'm like, okay, I really like that. I also like that it doesn't take up a lot of space. It's like not even a gig of space. And yet,
so does that translate into the graphics as well? Because these look super low poly.
Oh yeah, but that's the point. It's supposed to. It's this low poly kind of PlayStation 1 looking graphics or whatever. But I also just like the lighting effects. Like the lighting effects are almost like set to ultra, and then everything else is set to potato.
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing.
But it's like that is definitely part of the charm. Like I like that I like the look of it, and it makes it feel unique. You know, it's almost like somewhere in between like a super high res, you know, survival game and Minecraft, you know, like, so you still kind of get that Minecraft feel, but it's just this kind of low poly or whatever. And being a person who grew up on like PlayStation 1 or whatever, it's like, I love these graphics. Like I'd like to see more games like this. And yeah, so the survival, the building, like basically you craft yourself a hammer, and then using like right click, for instance, will build up or will bring up this big, stuff that you can, so walls, roofs, all this stuff. And it's like, okay, I really like that. And then literally you just drag and drop and left click to place it. Now, many people who've been listening, and even you, Nate, can know that I'm not a PC gamer. In many aspects, I just don't like PC gaming whatsoever. I remember Kevin used to give me a hard time because he's like, "Oh, you should try this out." I'm like, "Yeah, that's on the PC. Yeah, I don't think so. I've been using my laptop mainly just for like this. You know what I mean?" And I was just never really like the transition from a controller to a mouse and keyboard. Just like, I just don't like it. It just, whereas this game, it's simple enough, and also complex enough. Right now they do have partial controller integration, so I think maybe there's just some keystrokes that you have to use the keyboard for, but like the moving and the other stuff, you can just use your controller. I haven't even tried it because I actually like it. And that says something for a non-PC gamer to be like, I like the controls enough to not have to feel like I want a controller. There's plenty of games where it's like, I would try it for like 3 seconds and be like, nah, fuck this. So I really like that aspect of it. Yeah, I don't know what else. I haven't gone super far into it, so I can't tell you like how a lot of the combat is, but like the combat that I have had in it feels really responsive, because even like something like 7 Days to Die or whatever is so goddamn clunky, so like precise, but also imprecise at the same time. Whereas this is like, I do feel like there's a lot to do with dodging and blocking. So I wouldn't say like Dark Souls-esque, like, because it's definitely not like that. But maybe later on when I start getting more complicated enemies. Right now, the only thing I've come across is these Greylings, which are like these like little like gremlin-looking things. They just like start coming out. And then there was like this glowing newt that only came out at night or whatever. And then the only other things I've come across is like deer and boar, but they don't fight back. They just get scared and run away or whatever. So that doesn't really count. So, but the combat is nice, so far. Like you can grab a spear, you can or you can throw it or whatever. So, yeah, I just, out of all the survival games I have played, they're just so complicated that it takes away from the fun. Now, there's some people out there who like the simulation, but I'd say even then, like, imagine a day in the life where you're in a post-apocalyptic world or you're stuck on an island or something. You don't have to drink that fucking much. Who needs to drink that much? Nobody needs to. You can go days without water. And yet these games make you drink every, like, minute. It's like, hey, it's been a minute. Have you had a drink yet? Hey, it's been 5 minutes. Have you eaten?
Thirsty. Yes. Are you trying to drown me?
Right. Like, it's ridiculous. This has survival in it, but at least so far. Like I said, I played, I think, literally for 2 hours last night on stream. So it's there, but it's not important. Just like the building is there, the crafting is there. The crafting is way more important than the building. Like, I could probably go the entire game without actually building a base. That's at least the feel I'm getting. I feel like I don't have to build a base. I can make a base. And, like, that option is really nice. Because the only thing I need, like, an actual, like, house for is, like, my bed. So if I want to go rest or something, but everything else, like, I could just throw down a workbench. I could throw down a cooking station, and I don't need something for. And I'm like, okay, I really like that. Like, I like the simplicity of it because I still get the feel of a survival game without the tedium and the annoyance of a survival game, and I really like that. And yeah, so far, really, really enjoying it.
Cool. Yeah, it's one of those that it definitely looks interesting. Like, I do get, it's probably the only survival game that I've seen so far that does give me most Minecraft vibes. Because with Minecraft, it is the exploration aspect. I feel like some of those other games, like 7 Days to Die, it's like focused on the survival part of it rather than like there's just a world experience. So
this one does seem to have more of a story as well. So when you first spawn in, there's these like 5 archstones. And basically, from what I can tell, is that I have to get certain items, and I offer it up to this stone, and it summons that stone's like beast or whatever. So think of like Breath of the Wild, where you have the 5 divine beasts or whatever. So that's kind of what it is. So I'm gonna defeat these 5 demons or monsters or whatever, so I can make it to Valhalla. So that is the overall arch of the story, or the whole point of the game is to defeat these 5 beasts. And so that does kind of give me like an end goal, whereas most survival games is just that, explore and survive. Whereas this does seem to have, now if I wanted to, I could do like in Fallout where I just do whatever the fuck I want and not care about the story. But it is kind of nice to have it there, so I have something to look forward to. It's like right now all I have is like stone equipment. I'm making a stone axe, a stone, hoe, and things like that. And eventually I'll be able to like mine and get some iron and then make iron things. And when I feel like I'm ready, I can take on some of the divine beasts or whatever they're called.
I don't know about you guys, but stone hoe sounds like it's a really chafing situation.
Either that or they just had some good kush and they're like
going down in a landslide.
So, I mean, I really like it. If you want, go to our Twitch and just watch me play it or whatever. You get a better like feel for it, probably, because at least me rather than watching some rando play it or whatever. And I had a lot of fun with it, Yeah. That's it. So one of the main things I did want to get to today was the absolute fucking BS that came out. So Activision lays off 190 staff members. Originally, I don't know. I think it was Activision. Originally, Activision said it was only 50 people. And then Mr. Schreier himself, Jason Schreier, goes out and he's like, no, it was 190 people. Meanwhile, Bobby motherfucking Kotick gets a $200 million with an M bonus. Not his salary, not that quarter's paycheck. No, a fucking bonus. They have the goal to fire an entire segment of their department. Yeah, an entire department of their staff, but Bobby gets a $200 million bonus. And honestly, I think it's the bonus part that pisses me off. If this was his salary, it's like, okay, rich people getting richer, what the fuck ever, right? But the fact that this is a bonus, this is just something he gets for quote unquote doing a good job. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, genuinely, this is a genuine question. How the fuck do you sleep at night? Obviously on mounds of cash, but that's not the point.
Yeah. Fucking Scrooge McDuck over there.
I don't understand these companies. Now, full transparency, what they laid off was the esports. Are there a lot of esports going on right now? No. Unfortunately, we had this whole pandemic thing that happened, and there's not a lot of esports, in-person esports. So they laid off a lot of people that. But then they have the goal to also make an announcement that, we can't wait to get back to esports. How the fuck are you going to do that? You're going to hire new fucking people so that you can pay them less than you were paying the people you fucking fired? Fuck you.
Probably. Yeah.
So, I mean, just why, And now here's a big question that I think really comes up anytime something like this comes up or overworking comes up. Where do you draw the line? And this is an actual question to you, so I'm not just putting it out to. It's not rhetorical. Where do you draw the line between you know, the artists and then the people who are, you know, ruling over them, because we're both really big Call of Duty fans. We love Call of Duty. I'm really enjoying myself with zombies and everything. I really don't get into the microtransactions, so I'm not really like paying into their wallet necessarily, other than the first transaction or whatever. But still, there's this part of me that's like, I am, to a certain extent, feeding these people money. You know, so where do you draw the line? Like, and that's a more personal on your point. Where do you personally draw the line? Where, at what point do we just like, okay, I'm not buying Call of Duty anymore. This is just too much.
I feel like for me, it's whenever I see the decline in human nature of it, rather than the commercialization of it. Like, I feel like one that probably a good indication that would be like Infinite Warfare. Mm-hmm. Most people were tired of that. That's not the game that they wanted, and the sales showed. There's a fair amount of people that didn't buy Call of Duty that year. Those numbers are kind of inflated because of Modern Warfare being included, and a lot of people wanted that.
Yep.
But that's the thing. If they wouldn't have done that, that game would not have sold nearly as well as it did, because it seemed like, and Infinite Warfare's campaign is one of the best. I will say that. But in terms of a game, like compared to the other Call of Duties, it seems to be the most like canned, like generic Call of Duties. It's like nothing spectacular. Whereas like with Modern Warfare, you can see a lot of hard work was put into it, and like you want to play it to support that hard ass work.
Right.
And even Cold War to some extent, you know, with the panorama still going on. But yeah, that's a good indication. It's just when you start to see that, I'll always want to buy art from someone who I can see, like people, like if I know these people at these studios, that gets me more attached to that form of art. What the hell was that?
I don't know. It's weird because I have drawn the line with Rockstar. Yeah. And the main reason that I drew the line with Rockstar is because, obviously, one, the sheer amount of like crunch that goes into their work style, the work environment that they create for themselves, kind of that. But one of the kind of straws that broke the camel's back for me was the absolute egregious price gouging that they had on GTA Online. The fact that they would put out a like Batmobile, for instance, and then charge the equivalent of 150 real world dollars. Now, yes, you can go in game and you can grind for all of that without spending a dime, but they're not going to make it easy for you.
No,
they're going to make you play for an entire month every single day for, 8 hours a day or something like, and that kind of absolute brazen, capitalism, I guess, like that was too much for me. Like, no, I'm not going to spend what is the equivalent of 150 in
1 billion
real world,
gajillion.
Right? It's just too much. And the fact that they could put out an item, it's like doing horse armor, but like to the 1/1,000,000th degree, because you put out an item, a digital item on a digital thing, and you're expecting me to spend that much real world money. Like, that was the moment where I'm just like, I can't support this anymore. So when Red Dead Redemption 2 came out, I didn't buy it, and I didn't want to buy it.
I still haven't finished the tutorial.
What?
I still haven't finished the tutorial.
But like, I never felt the desire to, because it's just like, I do not want to feed into this. I don't want to feed into this. Another really good example, Last of Us Part 2 came out that they were crunching. And I think in my own head, the way I justified it is that the end product was something that can be considered art. So is it right that there's crunch? Abso-fucking-lutely not. But the end result is art, and I do want to support the artists. Because now, if Last of Us, just as an example, if The Last of Us came out with a multiplayer mode, and in that multiplayer mode they have a pay-to-win system, I'm not going to support that.
Yeah.
Not only am I not going to support that, but I might not buy the next Naughty Dog game.
Yeah.
Because it's just like, you know, which granted at the same time, like, I don't know, like, I might not even play the multiplayer. So it's like, it's a weird line because for a while, Call of Duty crossed that line for me. And I didn't want to keep feeding into that. I mean, even if you go back a couple of years and look at the rhetoric I had around Modern Warfare, and it's like, oh, it's just going to be another cash grab and yada, yada, yada. I was completely wrong, and I can completely admit that. But even so, like, we can go now and see that, like, you know, yeah, there's some overpriced stuff, like $24 for something, but that $24 gets us quite literally 4 times as much as it would if we were buying something in Apex Legends, for instance.
Right.
So
you're basically paying close to the same price for one item in Apex, whereas you're paying for a pack in Call of Duty.
Exactly. So like part of that, like they're taking steps that are more pro-consumer, like the fact that I have a battle pass, and whether I'm playing Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War or I'm playing Warzone or I'm playing Modern Warfare, no matter what, it's all towards the same progression. That alone is really like forward thinking, and it's very consumer friendly. So on that respect, I can't draw the line because they are taking steps that are better for the community. But then something like this happens, and it makes me very conflicted. It makes me really second guess myself, like, shit, so should I get the next? Well, first off, I don't think I'm getting the next one, because if the next one's by Sledgehammer, I can totally skip a Sledgehammer game.
Yeah, this one apparently, from what they're talking about, is a World War II game again. And I'm like,
I'm done. I'm good.
Yeah, well, that's another one. World War II
games,
is super fucking generic.
Right? World War II games have a special place in my heart. But it's just what I don't like about World War II games now is that I feel like they're more like they're relying too much on nostalgia rather than really trying to innovate on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like if we can get a World War II game similar to World at War, where it's a dark, gritty story, that could work, but not the Band of Brothers generic, oh, we gotta save Tommy, look at Tommy the football player, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Alrighty, so let's end the show with a little bit of nerdy would you rather. So I got a good one. It might sound like a smart-ass snarky comment, but it's a genuine question. Would you rather work for a company that everyone knows what the product is, it looks great on your resume, but you literally could get fired out of nowhere with no notice? Or would you rather work for a smaller company, smaller amount of people, you know, a smaller amount of people might know what your product is, but you care about it? You know what I mean? So with the big company, obviously you have a chance of getting a really good resume and then eventually getting the game that you want, or you have the game that you want, but you know, 1 million people might play it, you know, so, or the next time you go to an interview, you're like, oh, I worked on this game. And that person might be like, sorry, what game is that? So,
I think that's hard, because some people would say embrace the suck until you get to the point to where you can enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
But the whole point of what you're doing should be you enjoying it.
Right.
So, and I feel like there's a lot more, like, especially if you look at developers in studios like even Santa Monica or like, you know, Don't Nod, where they're smaller studios, but they seem like I feel like the games are more representative of that small studio creative thought and love.
Yeah.
So I think that this is definitely a quality over quantity situation. I would definitely take the second. That would be my.
Yeah.
Especially because not having job security is fucking awful. Like I just had a work meeting yesterday where for an hour they basically were like, hey, if you don't do this the way we say it and offer every single product on every call, you're going to get fired.
Oh, fuck.
And it's like, cool. That does fucking nothing for me.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, like I don't want to worry about my losing my job for no fucking reason, you know?
Right. That's the hard point, because, or that's what makes this one so hard is, I mean, one, it's real because it's happening right now, but two, it's like if you worked for somebody like Activision, you worked on a game that is critically acclaimed, like Modern Warfare, for example. Let's say you worked on the sound design. You were one of the sound design. Sound design on Modern Warfare is like revolutionary in a lot of terms. They really worked hard on the sound design. So if you went to your next, excuse me, if you went to your next job and said, yeah, I worked on Modern Warfare on sound design, I worked on this gun, this gun, this gun, and this gun, and you're able to do something like that's prestigious versus working on, Rogue Legacy 2. It's a nice little game. It's cool. The people who love it. But if you went to your next job and told them, hey, I worked on Rogue Legacy 2, hopefully you'd have people in the know and they'd be like, oh, that's a really good game. I can. But what if you just had somebody who maybe wasn't in the know? You have your portfolio. You have all the links to some videos of work that you did. But without that recognition, would they even look at it? You know what I mean? So it's a hard one. Because, I mean, I think overall I would have to go with my heart rather than my head because at the end of the day, like if I'm not having a good time, like emotionally, then
it can suck your soul.
Yeah, it sucks your soul.
Yeah.
Like a perfect example is when I worked at a call center, I did not last as long as you did. How long have you been there?
June of this year will be 2 years.
2 years, yeah. I lasted literally 3 months, maybe, and that was with a break in the middle of it because I had some back issues. Yeah, I did not last whatsoever. I think part of it is because I take my job serious. I want to do good, and the unrelenting pressure. And a really good example is what you were talking about. If you don't do this, if you don't do this, if you don't do this, you will eventually get fired. But the thing is, you don't know when, because like the way Verizon does it, that's who I worked for. The way Verizon does it is that they have these little meetings with you and they set goals for you and they do such a fucking good job of making you feel like, oh, we want to work with you or whatever. It's like, but there is this underlying thing where, if you don't change, you're going to get fired. Yeah. If you don't do stuff the way we want you to do, even though your way might be fucking better and or more efficient, doesn't fucking matter because it's not their way of doing stuff. And that pressure was way too much for me. Just way too much for me. So instead of sticking with a job that had security as far as what I was getting paid and everything and would have done good, I was just like, no, fuck this. It's not making me happy. I'm coming home at like fucking 10 o'clock at night. I'm not able to spend time with my girls, And that was a really big factor for me. Now I work for Uber Eats. Is it as prestigious? Fuck no. Am I making as much money? Arguably, yes. Depending on what day it is. On a good Friday, I could probably make as much on a Friday than I would have made in a whole week working at a 40-hour job. Just depends. Sometimes, if it's not a good Friday, it's not a good Friday. But still, having a job where I can literally clock on, like right now, I could go bleep, blup, blup, bleep, blup, blup, and I'm on. You know what I mean? The fact that I can do that works so well because I have a wife and she's got the big job. She's got she's the director of aquatics. She manages people that then work with other people and then, make programs and everything. And that's her, and I can be proud of her and do that. And then I kind of get the kind of stay at home dad full time. And then part time I go out and I make some money and I can do that. But working in that kind of environment where I'm just like, yeah, you sort of matter. In the sense of you're a number and we need numbers to call other numbers. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and I couldn't mentally handle that.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a call center person, you probably know exactly what I'm talking about, because it's just like, and if you can handle it for 2 years, Nate, good on you. I don't know how the fuck you do it. You know,
I do drugs. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
That's the
Not even gonna
secret.
lie.
I just need to do
Not
them,
even gonna lie.
and then I'll be
Yeah.
good. Okay,
Yeah,
all right.
exactly. Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you. That's good advice for everybody listening. Do drugs, and you can do pointless fucking work.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Do you have one?
You know what? I really, the one that you have here, I feel like is one it's very simple, but I feel like is very accurate. So
You're gonna steal mine, you bitch.
no, I was just gonna say yours is good.
You can make it go along with what we've been talking about today. So maybe Falcon Winter Soldier, zombies, Among Us.
Okay. Okay. Well, yeah. Let's do Falcon and Winter Soldier. Very simple one. Would you rather have been the people who survived the blip or the people who got blipped?
Ooh, damn! Wow,
I can't think of a good answer for that one.
That's deep, simple in premise, but if you think about it for more than 3 seconds, you either got blipped out of existence and didn't have to live through the absolute shit that the world turned into, or you got blipped out of fucking existence. You might not have come back. Oh. That is a really good one. That's what Nerd Would You Rather's all about. Getting really nerdy stuff and getting deep into the trenches of what it would really mean to be blipped out of existence. Like, a really good example is Rambo. She got blipped out of existence, and when she came back, her fucking mom was dead.
Yeah.
And she was literally in the hospital, like, hoping that she got better. Her mom did get better. And then she just ended up dying later anyways. Oh, my God. What a good one. Thank you so much for a good one. We need a poll now, people. If you're listening, go to @TX3 Productions and let us know. What do you think? You know? I'll put up a poll. So look for the poll on our website. Oh, that's a good one. Would you rather live through the snap or been blipped back? Oh, man. Jeez. That's hard.
Yeah, I can't think of what the answer would be because there are two different types of hells. Like the hell that you went through for basically a fucked up ecosystem for the past 5 years, like the world literally falling apart because half of all people are gone. Half of all living things are gone, just in general. And we're thinking small scale because obviously we're not going to look at the universe. The universe was obviously affected. Whatever. It's a lot. It's a lot grander than that. But also, yeah, I mean, you're right. There's also you come back 5 years later and the world's different, completely different, and it's like you don't know what that like.
You have to rebuild that world.
Yeah, there was a kid. I think he was a teenager, maybe young. I don't know, who was in a coma before 2020 happened and woke up towards the end of it and woke up to a different world completely.
Whoa.
And yeah, this guy missed most of 2020. And
damn.
It's that kind of thing. It's like you come to a different world. Like you come back to a completely different world that you lived in. And that's what I think is cool about Falcon and Winter Soldier is they're actually showing that.
Right?
And we actually can live vicariously what that would potentially be like. But I really don't know the answer to that.
You know what? I'm going to say I would have rather lived through the snap. Because, I mean, in a weird kind of way, we've lived through the snap. We've been through this situation where we had to stay indoors. We had to be careful about everything we do. Is that the same as half of the people in the entire world getting snapped out of existence? Not quite, but we've had 500 million people die because it's just some invisible thing. You know what I mean? So in a way, like, we are living through the snap. I know that's super fucking cheesy or whatever, but I think I've lived through something catastrophic, so I think I could. Whereas coming back from something like coming back from a coma and like my daughter's being older, my whole life just being something where I have to suddenly just pick back up where I started, but I can't. So I think
now I'll watch the game. No. Yep. You know what? I've talked myself into it. We're doing an MCU rewatch.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
We got to figure out if we're doing chronological though, because Disney Plus you can do chronological.
Okay.
Okay.
That's at the beginning of Disney Plus. So I don't know, like what, a year ago now. That's what me and Ashley did. We did chronological. So we started with Winter Soldier. Then we can find the list online.
You mean the first Avenger?
Yeah, we started with the first Avenger, then we went to Captain Marvel, then we went so on and so forth. We can find the.
Well, you don't have to on Disney Plus. Like it's in chronological. There's a tab that's in chronological order.
Ooh, well there you go.
If you go down like
there's certain ones that aren't on Disney Plus. As stupid as that fucking sounds.
Which ones are still
I
not
don't know,
Plus?
but there are some that are like on various, like whether it's Netflix or here and there or whatever. So, but either way, we could find it online. We'll do it. We'll fucking do it. We're doing it. Yes. If you guys want to join us, we're doing it. We're doing it. We've made it. We've made that decision. We're doing it. All right. So there you go. That was my answer. The snap. I would have much rather lived through the snap. So
I gotta say, I'd probably be in the same boat as far as that's concerned because. Okay, yeah. So this is. I'm looking to see. I'm on Disney Plus right now. Captain America, Captain Marvel, Iron Man 2, Thor, Avengers, Thor 2, Iron Man 3, Winter Soldier, Guardians 1, then 2, Avengers, Ant-Man, Civil War, Black Panther, I did rewatch Doctor Strange recently, and that movie. I'm sorry, Doctor Strange first one's boring.
Boring as fuck.
Thor Ragnarok. Okay, so which ones are missing out of this?
Well, maybe they do finally have them. Back when the
only one I can't think of is Incredible Hulk, but I think that's fine.
Yeah, that's totally fine. No, I think back when we did it, Ant-Man and the Wasp was on Netflix, and Infinity War was on Netflix. Okay, so now they might all be there.
Yeah, they're all on there now. Oh,
Sweet.
That looks so clean too, with WandaVision and Falcon Winter Soldier right next to it.
Oh, just. That was me jizzing.
Yes. Yes. That's that too. Yeah, there
you go. For you audio listeners, just like.
On that note.
Oh man. All right, we've set a new bar for nerdy would you rathers, where like I had a real deep question, you had a super deep question, so that's the bar, people. Bring your A game. Go to our usual places at TX3 Productions, ThreadX3 Productions on YouTube, ThreadX3 Productions at gmail.com. What is your nerdy would you rather? Let us know. You can also go to our Discord, always in the description and everything, pinned to the. So yeah, thank you guys so much for joining us today. We'll sing you out with the song. We'll have a song, and then we'll be done with the stream. And or if you're an audio listener, you just get little, audio samples or whatever. So you get a little sample. But anyways, I was Nick.
And I was Nate.
And remember, the offer is still out there. $1 million for somebody who can find a more Nick and Nate show than the Nick and Nate show. If something's more Nick and Nate than the Nick and Nate show, and you can find that Nick and Nate show that's more Nick and Nate than Nick and Nate's, $1 million. Offer still stands.
Who's going to pay $1 million? We still haven't figured that out yet, but the offer still stands.
That's future Nick's problem, okay? All right, guys. Have a good day.
All right, bye.
Istri au mic, SK ma gueule, yeah. Ils nous prennent tous pour des...
We're not going French again, damn it.
work a 9 to 5, building up these stacks. I'll be working on the block, building up these racks. I'll be working for the fam, here's a couple stacks. This is for $1 in a dream, I got your back. Till I'm drip down in stacks, drip down in stacks, drip down in stacks. Time to make some money, man. Drip down in stacks, drip down in stacks, drip down in stacks. Back it up now. We live in a dream of building stacks, live in a dream of giving back, live in a dream of having that, having that. We live in a dream of building stacks, live in a dream of giving back, live in a dream of having that. Back it up now.
We live for the hype. We live in a world where the money means more than life, more than the rent we spent on ice, losing it all with an oversight. It's time to stack them chips, invest that money and make it flip. We need to save for the future, man. Wisdom is shit turn to sense. Where the money go? Where the money flow? It go from the kids to a car to a house, but they count that money in slow-mo. In a minute to a month to a year, that fear might grow. Think about that when you're blowing that dough. Think about the ones who's losing you when you're robbing still when the bills are due. Whoa, stacks. You might call them racks. We just making money, put our problems to the back. Like, whoa, stacks. You might call them racks. We just making money, put our problems to the back. Back it up now.
I just work a 9 to 5, building up these stacks. I'll be working on the block, building up these racks. I'll be working for the fam, here's a couple stacks. This is for $1 in a dream, I got your back. Till I'm drip down in stacks, drip down in stacks, drip down in stacks. Time to make some money, man. Drip down in stacks, drip down in stacks, drip down in stacks. Back it up now.
Look how the money can change you. Make good hearts ungrateful, turn good guys unfaithful, turn one love so spiteful. Look how the money can be cold, no cash flow for them broke souls, no helping hand with them stacks low. And that debt term like death row. Where the money at? Where the money pack? It go to a bank, to a stock, to a lock and safe. I filled with racks. Rainy days, I'ma need them stacks. We live for the chase, cheap for the money we'll never make. Soldier sold to the devil's bank, build and stack and cut the game. Stacks, you might call them racks. We just making money, put our problems to the back. Like, whoa, stacks. You might call them racks. We just making money, put our problems to the back. Back it up now.
I just work a 9 to 5, building up these stacks. I'll be working on the block, building up these racks. I'll be working for the fam, here's a couple stacks. This is for $1 in a dream, I got your back. Till I'm drip down in stacks, drip down in stacks, drip down in stacks. Time to make some money, man. Drip down in stacks, drip down in stacks, drip down in stacks. Back it up now. We live in a dream of building stacks, live in a dream of giving back, live in a dream of having that, having that. We live in a dream of building stacks, live in a dream of giving back, live in a dream of having that. Back it up now.
She wanna ring, but my fingers filled with rings already. Feel like a king with the silver around me blingin' heavy. Give me the gin, give me the juice, nah, later to marry. That's what I've been fucking doing, and bet I will do till I'm empty. I need the gin, I got no time, I gotta give me my Grammy. Give me the juice, I don't wanna sign, I wanna get it myself. She want a necklace, that's Versace, but I spend it wisely. I got no brackets, I got no space, I smile, I be Chinese. I want a crown, I need a throne, I don't really need that much. I kept it down, that's for the city, and I always keep that trust. All of my dreams are just once I keep it 100, I don't leave my number now. I wanna be up in London or deep in the jungle, I'm leaving the gutter. That's what I promised my mama, that's not for the comments, it's just cause I love her. I keep my love undercover, enough is enough, but I honestly want this. All that we gotta be, all that we wanna. Shout out to all of my brothers, there wasn't the mom, me getting the shovel, water to wash off the blood on my knuckles. I wanna double the doubles, I wanna double the dices, I wanna double the cups, I wanna double the prices. I'm talking black when I'm talking the cubs. I get your back, now you buckle up fast, yeah. Bet we coming up in 090, but only believe what your eyes see. We doing a jump in half, it might get cold when it's icy. Sundown, but the sun's still shining, yeah. Double down, ain't fuckers nowhere to find it. Sippin' semi-automatic going down, yeah. A couple down, but a couple filled with the brown still.
So get the car anti-stress and put some Fanta in it. Came for dough, no croissant, still Hollanda with it. On my milk like a mom, let your mama give it. Thought I made water out of wine, now I got a headache. Making it pop like Beretta. Deep to the L, we like FIFA Vendetta. Feel like a chef, how we cooking it up and we're serving and fill up the ladle. Mi madre queen and mi padre boss. Brought a routine and I bust the scene up with an uppercut. Nothing to ring when I box. I won't give you props. I'm on paper like administrators. I'm about to take it to greater heights. I'm with Jake around 8, but it might get late tonight. Cause I made a couple of verses and they'll get late tonight. Might do a show and get late tonight. She's a piece of the cake, so I take a bite. In my memory like data. Second page when my data right. Still take that she was smoking hot, he vaporized. Oh my god, that's a surprise. Hit it bare, that's great advice. But you had a cup I could not handle. It's all fun and games until you lose the gamble or lose the battle. When I'm about to, I do a ramble. It's all fun and games until you lose the gamble or lose the battle. When I'm about to, I do a ramble.
They say that time is like a never-ending battle.